So for more on what life has been like on college campuses as of late for Jewish students, let's bring in now George Washington University student Sarah Renbaum and Columbia University student Parker De Deker. Thank you both so very much for joining us. I know this is tough. This is not something that you guys should be talking about during your college years. You should be out this weekend having a good time with your friends. This is finals week. This is not the conversation that you should be having. So thank you for being with us. I want to first play the soundbite for you because I think it's going to make your blood boil. This is from Progressive Chairwoman Pramila Jayapal this week. And this is her answer when she was asked what advice she has for Jewish students who don't feel safe on campus.
What would your message be to a Jewish student who doesn't feel welcome or even safe on their own campus right now?
I think my message is the same to a Jewish student, to a Palestinian student, to everybody, that it is really important to educate yourself about what is anti-Semitic, about what is Islamophobic, to separate a people from an action of a government, and that it is good to protest based on your values.
So, Sarah, I'll come to you first. Educate yourself. How does that make you feel?
As someone who is extremely educated already about the subject, I have spent time, reading and learning from my peers and from professors and from my family about what it means to be proudly Jewish and what it means to stand up for yourself and your beliefs. And as someone who attended a pro-Israel and Jewish rally on campus on Thursday morning, we sang songs, we held hands, and we spoke about the 133 hostages that are still held in Gaza. That is what it means to educate yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parker, I'll get you to respond too, but I got to ask you about this Columbia Law Review situation going on. I'm sure you've heard about this. The Board of Student Editors is now asking the law school to cancel classes and also give them passing grades, or at least pass or fail, because they are irrevocably shaken, quote, and unable to focus and highly emotional during this tumultuous time. Parker, give me your thoughts on that. You go to Columbia. They're shaken because of protests that they are causing.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing. I think, every Columbia student is definitely shaken, but I think particularly Jewish students are shaken. And these accommodations weren't given to Jewish students until we had a significant donor, Robert Kraft, withdrawing his money from the university and providing that threat, or having Speaker Johnson come to Columbia University and asking for a Minutia Shafiq's resignation. And so the biggest thing is Jewish students have been calling and asking for accommodations to make us feel more comfortable on campus. And only until these actually drastic events happen does Columbia actually respond. And so I think regarding your question on the law school issue, I think it's graduate school. I think it's really important to have accommodations if you need to, if you're a threat of anti-Semitic remarks or Islamophobic remarks. But I think doing things across the board, it's still Columbia University Law School. And I think they're separate from the rest of the main campus. The law school's across the road, but it's definitely not on main campus where all the turmoil has been going down. So I definitely think it's an interesting take to be had.
Yeah, and when you think about, finals and people being allowed to be students there, there are some Jewish students not even being allowed to be on campus. They're actually being stopped because of their ethnicity, which is wild that that's happening in America. This is not a foreign policy issue anymore. This is really about what do we stand for as Americans? And Parker, I'll come back to you because the Office of Civil Rights is investigating a plethora of Title VI violations, 130 plus cases nationwide. And Secretary Cardona this week called it abhorrent. Some of the things that are happening in real time that are obviously clearly violations of civil rights. Do you feel like this administration is doing enough and doing it quickly enough to eradicate anti-Semitism and, just uphold your basic human rights to exist on a college campus?
I think it's a combination of efforts that needs to happen. Specifically speaking at GW, there is a case happening where we have asked the mayor, students themselves have called upon the mayor to bring in the extra support that Jewish student needs, whether it be to take those finals, whether it be to simply just be brave enough to walk around campus. That is what the issue is just to simply exist as a Jewish student. Do I think there can be more to be done? I absolutely do. But with the efforts that have been done already, I think it needs to be stronger.
Has there anything that's happened to you specifically or your friends that, stopped you in your tracks in the past week?
On Thursday, when the protest started at GW, my friends and I wanted to go observe and see what was going on for our own eyes, because this is history, and we want to see what is happening on our campus. There was a student wearing a mask, covering her face, who recognized me from my freshman hall, and she mocked me and she verbally abused me, and to feel that way on my own campus is just disgusting.
Yeah. Parker, I'll ask you, what can Joe Biden do for you today?
Joe Biden can continue to make statements about condemning anti-Semitism. I think that's a huge thing, but I also think he really needs to engage on this issue of anti-Semitism head on and provide a more clear definition of what is anti-Semitism in America. I think that's a huge thing that needs to be changed, because I think we have so many definitions, but our country has not adopted a singular one that is across the board that applies to every educational institution. I know at my university, Columbia, if you go to our university campus life page and search up the definition of anti-Semitism, it labels it as the definition of anti-Semitism is often unclear to many. This definition isn't unclear. It's pure Jewish hatred is anti-Semitism, but my university can't even provide a definition, and there are many other universities across the country which can't do so. And so I think it's, first of all, classifying what chants at a protest are anti-Semitic. I think we've had the message coming from the House of Representatives that condemned From the River to the Sea as anti-Semitic. I think there needs to be a motion for there's only one solution, Intifada revolution. That chant has to come on and be condemned as anti-Semitic, because when you have those, historically, every Intifada in the past 40 years has led to the significant loss of Jewish, Israeli, and even non-Jewish Israeli life in the state of Israel, and also threats among other Jewish individuals around the world. There also needs to be a categorization of different words, like the word pig being used at Jewish students, also as anti-Semitic. After being on the news significantly over the past 2 weeks, speaking out against anti-Semitism and taking a public stance on my Zionism, walking back on campus last week, these are like people are saying, "Oh, you Zionist pig," and then start going oink oink and oinking at me. And people don't realize the term pig, whether used towards a Jew or whether used towards any other individual, was used during the Holocaust, used during Russian pogroms, used during pogroms in the Middle East in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s against specifically Jewish individuals, because it's antithesis to like our kosher law. And so being called a pig is like the antithesis to our very lifestyle.
I get it. Parker, I'm Muslim, and if someone did that to me, I'd be very upset too. I totally understand. What boggles my mind about all of this is you are Jewish Americans going to American universities. You have nothing to do with what's happening overseas. And for people like this to target you, students, kids who are just venturing off into your life, it's awful. Thank you to both of you, and you guys are both leaders, and I know there's a bright future ahead for both of you. So thank you for joining us and coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.